fun.
This is episode number 440. A year in review and looking forward to 2023.
440. What?
I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me at Jason Tucker on some stuff, and you can also go to my website at jasontucker.blog.
I'm Say Reed. Say Reed Media is not really the website that I update, but you can look at it.
And y'all know who it is. It's your boy Jason Cosper, aka Fat Mullenweg, back at it again on the world's most influential WordPress podcast.
You heard it here first.
Over to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Audible, Spotify, and you can go hang out with us over.
That's the blessed place. That's the blessed place. I was gonna say that's the best place to actually hit me up because you can get right to me. And Happy New Year! I actually had a listener hit me up on there and tell me that my sound is bad. Thanks. I think it's Hose. Anyway, I don't know how to say your name properly. I think it's Hose, but I have this mic right here for you, so hopefully you can hear me now. And I'll get a better mic when I get a better computer. It's gonna happen someday, people.
Someday.
But you know what? Just who's in a hurry for a new computer? Why would a tech person be interested in a new computer?
Right.
I'm the most Luddite tech person there ever was. I swear. I've got my tiny iPhone with its one dinky little
wow
camera.
All right.
Did it take you to update to that phone too? Say, how long did you have it sitting on your desk?
It was on my desk for 6 months, and my brother was really mad because he gave it to me. And the reason he gave it to me is because I kept complaining about my phone and then didn't get a new one, and so he's like, "Here." And then I left it sit for 6 months, and he was mad about that too. That was a couple of years ago.
Jeez.
Anyway, if you want to buy me a new phone or a new microphone, I'll use it eventually, but I'm just not that motivated. But this is for you. Yos. Anyway,
good job.
Happy end of the year, y'all.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here. It's clear. I don't know what else. Never mind about that rhyme. Because we're not outing anybody on this show. All right. Anyway, how was your year? This is our wrap up year.
Today.
Well, look, it's dead week, as you were just saying, right? Cosper. And we were all home, and we're like, oh, we could do a show. Why not? So I was like, let's do a show for the end of the year wrap up, and then everyone can have it waiting for them when they get to their desks on Tuesday, when everyone is like ready to hit the road, or not the road, the computer.
Yeah.
They need a little content to get them going. So this is it. So I hope your year end, your 2022 was gentle to you. And I hope that you, the audience, you people listening, I mean, you too also, but I hope that you, our sweet audience, were not ill for Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, which is, I think, happening right now, and all the other holidays that happen at the end of the year on the Western calendar. Yeah,
the year
I'm just gonna keep
closing out the year has been nice. It's one of it's kind of like, okay, now I'm ready for next year. Now I have all these new things that I want to start working on. I have all sorts of, I don't know. We've done resolution episodes, and I always think those are super lame because it's just like, it's like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go do this and I'm going to do that.
Lies. Lies. And
but I think there's some things that like WordPress itself could resolve to do. And we've complained about them enough over the last couple of years, and we're starting to hear some rumblings about what it is that's actually going to be happening come next year. So things are looking good, and I'm happy to hear that we're able to close out this year on a bit of a high note, and we have some ideas as to what's going to be coming up.
I have a proposal for us real quick that I didn't mention to you before the show, so surprise. And It actually just reminded me of it when you said resolutions. So I was reading an article about someone who does a word for the year.
Yep.
Like they're just kind of like, what's your word for the year? And I'm not going to ask you that personally because that's not what we do here on the show. But I will ask you, what is your word for your tech? So WordPress or hardware or work or whatever, like your techie side. What's your word for your techie side? Mine is not update, although it probably should be.
I think you kept saying no to that update thing that kept popping up, and
Like,
now you're at a point where
No.
you're probably not able to get the latest OS on your phone anymore. So there
My
is
phone
that.
is updated. My computer will not go. It is now at the top of its.
Yep.
It will get no further than this. So it has entered the stagnant zone. So words. You've had 2 seconds to think about it. Okay, I have mine. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Ready?
Yes.
Impact.
Huh.
Like you're gonna throw the phone, or what are you doing?
Throw it at you. No, I was gonna say progress, but like that sounds so like sluggish. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like just slow, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with slow progress, but I don't want that to be like my mantra, like for the year. So impact, which means to me, kind of smart operating in terms of like working on things that will have the most bang for your buck, as it were. So,
that makes sense.
I'm really hopeful that this little endeavor right here, which if you haven't joined, please join us just for free. Sign yourself up. Obviously we want donations, absolutely, but we also just want participation and community. So join for free.
For the folks
you already
listening, the folks listening to the audio, that's the WPcommunitycollective.com.
Yeah, sorry.
Tucker, please make sure that's in the show notes.
It's very important. I'll be talking about it a lot next year. But I'm hoping that we will have some impact in the community. We have some cool announcements coming up in week 1 already. I'm excited about. And I'll talk about some of the other things that I'm doing, or I can talk about them now if you're not ready with your words yet. Should I talk about them now? You can do your word.
The word I always have, the word I've used in the past is like optimize. Take what you have and try to make it. Try to use it to to its most.
That has an implication that you are not already optimized, and
right? Isn't that
you're fully optimized already? Like you are an optimizer.
Yeah, it makes me sound like I'm not like doing this well or something.
Yeah, you are. I need to optimize. You do not. You are optimized out. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what your tech world's current thing is, because you have an interesting relationship with WordPress and tech and the way you use it in your work and in your life.
I guess if I had to have one, at least work wise, would be like we're the place I work at, we are very old school, and not because of anything in particular. It just, we got stuck with some old technology and we just haven't upgraded it. Now I'm moving everything to the cloud. And so we're getting a lot of cloud-based solutions instead of having everything live locally.
Okay, wait, hold on. I just need to make a joke here about all the stuff at your church job being in the cloud. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, but it's not. It's local. It's still on the ground.
You need to ascend all of your church.
Exactly.
You should frame it like that, and they'll be like, okay. You're like, we should not be of these earthly concerns. We should be in the cloud.
So that's if I had to say that, it'd be just to start using more modern tools and modern tool sets to kind of do the type of work that we want to do. I think another one would be, I don't really have the opportunity to do it all that much, so I'll definitely want to talk with you folks about it down the road. But just doing like those automations that are happening on using something like Zapier, or using something like Make, or one of those sorts of things that kind of ties all the pieces together to make the APIs talk to one another. I would love to do more of that. So there's, and I hear you folks doing quite a bit of that. I do it, but I don't do it with WordPress. So I would just love to see.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'd just love to see something like that. It'd be that cloud.
That's your word. Cloud it, baby. Not cloudy, but cloud. Those are different. Yeah.
So
You're up.
I really think that it's going to be a little bit of a carry on near the end of my year. Like this has kind of been a theme.
So you mean like carry on, like continuance, not like a dead carcass, right? Just clarify.
Right. A continuance, absolutely. It kind of started to crop up at the end of my year, though, which is ownership over the things that I make and do and everything else. I mean, Tucker and I are both on a Mastodon server that I spun up, and we use that, but instead of using something like Twitter now, I barely look at that site. But I'm not going to keep putting things out there that like make money for other people. Like I don't even really give a shit about making money. Like I got a job that provides for my family and myself. Like I'm good. But like the things that I put out there, I don't want them to be dependent on someone else's infrastructure
at this point.
Yeah.
The whims of Elon Musk are musking through the air.
So, I mean, not only owning my, the social media platform that I post to, thanks to Federation, but blogging more, doing. Tucker and I have been talking about this for 2 years. I would like to finally launch the Query. Which is our question and answer show.
Yeah.
And
you can we can just make it Say's questions. You know that, right? Like we don't have to actually, I don't need to even be there. I'll just like listen or something. But like
we're here. Ta-da! Let's do it. Let's do it, Cosper. We'll make it happen.
Surprise!
That's the thing.
Everyone
it's not like we haven't done anything for it.
He just changed the background and the logo to the Query because it's ready to go. I think that there was I know that this is actually less about you procrastinating and more about you trying to be inclusive. And I know that's one of the big reasons that you didn't launch in 2022 or 2021. And I think that's really cool. Like that, if you're going to not launch something, having it be because you are not trying to be another white guy stepping into the spotlight is like the best reason, honestly.
Well, we doubled down and we did 2 white guys.
Beards. Right.
And glasses.
I mean,
you put a hat on if you
that
want.
way, you're kind of like one guy. I don't know. The Jasons, like you could just be the Jasons as an entity. So you kind of count. It could be one as an entity, right? It's just for the show, for the show's point. Anyway, I think that's a great idea, and we can, folks, send in your questions, and
you also change yourself.
Tucker will not Tucker. Cosper will be your Google.
Yes.
Well, actually, you're gonna be like Chat GPT because now I just have to call my questions to AI. And I don't bother anybody anymore. Notice I haven't texted you guys about stuff lately. That's right. I know.
Gosh, you're just getting whatever the average answer is that the internet provided to.
Surprisingly, I'm really good at filtering through that shit. Stuff. Yeah. I'm really good at filtering through whatever, so I can rephrase my question if Chat GPT doesn't get it right. The latest use I've had for it, 2023 is going to be all about me using AI for stuff like that, because I have already been using it on a bunch of projects this month, and it's helped me optimize my code. And this week, I've been building out a client site who is just, content from a client. Does that ever happen? Do you ever get it? No. But I started asking Chat GPT just like super basic questions about the industry, and it's giving me, basic answers. And I'm just like cut and paste. And it's like you can't tell the difference because like that's all marketing kind of copy is anyway. It's not like cutting edge, revolutionary like blurbs, So like it's really just populating my site. And it's a whole step closer to being done than if I'm using just dummy text, because
Mm-hmm.
now the client can go in there and look at it and be like, oh, I just want to tweak it this way. I actually used it for a blog post yesterday for a microsite. I was asking, I did some updates to an intranet. Excuse me. I did some updates to an intranet, and I was like, well, we have this little news area. We should put something there if we did these updates to the section. And my client was like, no, I don't have time for that. And I was like, hold please. I was like, please write a short blog post about adding new features to an intranet. And it like just spit out, and I was like, bloop.
You're like, oh, I should add that thing.
Yeah,
oh, I should add that feature.
I was like, look, it's like a cheesy. It's actually hard for me to write cheesy blog posts like that. So
yeah,
taking it from the AI and sticking it in there, super easy. So that's that's part of my impact, right? So I'm using things for strong impact. So using tools that have a higher impact even on my work is what I've already started, and I am really excited about that. Really excited.
You're gonna have to teach me about using it to rewrite stuff, because I have only ever asked Chat GPT to like tell me about a thing or whatever, because I would love to get Chat GPT to rewrite my speaker bio and not make it sound completely.
Do it. Just put it in there. Say you gotta just give it those things. You say, here's my speaker bio. Please add some more professional, rewrite this to sound more professional, rewrite this to sound more casual. And honestly, for stuff like that, it's going to use the exact same content and just reword it. Like, it is perfect for that stuff. And I am really anxious about the use of AI in society, but I am really happy about the use of it as a tool. And I know that's really the dialogue that's gonna, like, 2023 is gonna be all about this, right? Like, even in the state of the word, Matt Mullenweg was talking about it a lot. Surprisingly, do you think it has nothing to do with WordPress.
Yeah. Do you think that it's that you're better off using it when you're providing it something that you want it to derive from? Like, instead of you just saying, like, I need you to conjure up this, like, this paragraph, and I'm giving you
definitely better at editing,
vague stuff.
Yeah, it's way better at editing.
Like what Cosper's saying, his bio, and said, here, rewrite this thing.
Are you doing it like right now?
Pulling from its own stuff. Yeah.
Like left. He's like, sorry, I'm rewriting my bio. I think so.
Yeah.
Also, with my code, I've been writing it in there. This is now turning into an AI episode, Chat GPT episode. But I've been putting it in there and saying, can you see if there's any way to optimize or any other ways to write this code? And it'll say, it's so great. It's like having like a teacher, honestly, because it writes back in full sentences, right? And it's like, here, there are no errors, which, by the way, I really love that, when it's like, there are no errors in this code. However, you could optimize this by using, and it actually like will number and give you the reasons. It's like, when you make this call, you're calling the database multiple times. Like, so I actually shifted some of my code from, how you can write code in a lot of ways.
Right.
You may have noticed, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like, have you ever heard of object-oriented programming? Here, let me show you.
It actually was saying. And I was like, no, I have not learned JavaScript deeply, computer. Why don't you
see that you know PHP 4. Good job. Here, let me show you something else.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong. I was like, what I really want to ask Chat GPT, are all of my skills useless now? It's yes,
you're fine.
Yes, they are. Anyway, they're a good basis. So that's part of my impact, like using tools that have impact. So the cheesy way to say that would be to work smarter, not harder. But like, I'll work harder too. I don't mind. I'm excited because my baby's almost 3, and so she doesn't need as much like I can sleep through the night. It's just like I have a new lease on life. I'm really excited for all the stuff that's coming up. I actually have a little announcement to make too.
Yeah, go for it.
Should I do it right now? Okay. So I was appointed as one of the team reps for the marketing team for Make WordPress. And I am super excited about it for a multitude of reasons. I've been off and on the marketing team for a really long time. It's had some problems, but this year it's got a fair. It's like starting to do stuff, putting things out on social. I think it's going to be really important for. I do think it's really important for even what we were talking about a couple weeks ago when I was talking about how, there's no blog posts for announcements and the communication. So I'm really hoping, and this again goes back to impact, I'm really hoping that I will be able to do some cross collaboration between the teams in Make, which are usually very siloed. And they have been having a lot more crossover lately. I know a friend of the show, Courtney Robertson, has been really instrumental in tagging people and getting people into different groups, into different teams, channels. But I'm really excited to see if the marketing team can start to ease some of the friction that comes from having devs do communication. Again, not all devs are bad at communication.
Yep.
Most devs they're fine. It's not that they're fine. It's just maybe they don't think of some of the more public facing issues or communication, strategies that could be employed to help the community buy in to what's happening.
Yeah.
So I really think that the taxonomy feature, or the taxonomy being added for commercial or community plugin that was the original issue, I think that's a great idea. It really is. It really helps clarify to the user what they're using. And I think that is always good. And it's also going to it does have directions to both the plugin support forums and to wherever the commercial support might be for that plugin, which is very helpful to the user. But again, the way it was announced was alarming to people instead of, excited, and that's my main goal for the marketing team, is to help ease that friction, and maybe just build out the communications a little bit past just promotion of WordPress, but more about inter-community communication. So that's my cool announcement. And those are some of my big dreams for 2023 in terms of WordPress. And the community summit is coming up in August, right before WordCamp US. So that hasn't been for, a million years. And I am really excited and I hope to be able to go. So yay.
Do you think, between the two of you, do you think that the media library will actually get some type of optimization at some point here? Do you think we're gonna get what we've been wanting to get, at least
category taxonomy and media? I was looking at the media library literally yesterday, and I was like, why is there just not taxonomy here? That's all we need. And you can put taxonomy on you can make custom taxonomy for it, right? I actually was thinking, I was like, why have I never made a custom taxonomy for my media?
Mm-hmm.
I me, who's always talking about the media library, why have I not done that yet?
And why doesn't it detect that the same image is already in there and just combines them? Why does it detect,
hey, this is already in here, do you want to do it again?
Being used?
Oh,
I want to know, is it being used in a post? Is it a duplicate? And is it can you somehow use I don't know, it'd be nice if it just kind of did some tags for me.
Well, talking about AI in WordPress, I wonder if that could happen.
In this photo. Yes, there is a car in this photo.
I think that could happen in terms of I don't know what's going on in the Openverse or Photos teams in terms of tagging and that sort of a thing, but it seems to me that given the focus that photography it has in the project, it seems that is a natural step that we could take within the project. So that'd be another cool way to apply AI specifically to photos, because it, in theory, might want to already exist or may even already exist for Photos or Openverse team. So that's kind
I was
of
going to say, y'all maybe don't remember, we did an episode on this. We had Helen on and talked about 10up's Classify plugin. And yeah, it leverages, I think, a Microsoft service to use their cloud AI stuff to classify photos, like help tag them a little bit, help do that stuff. I mean,
Can we bring it into core?
probably like via Jetpack or something like that. Honestly,
I laughed really loudly. Sorry about that for people with ears.
you know, I
didn't mean to laugh quite that loudly.
I've gotten a little less down on Jetpack since they've started to like split things up and make like more single serving or like vertical focused Jetpack like offshoot plugins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to see a service. I think that I mean, we're going there in 2023 with the collaborative editing and moving forward with that. I don't think, unless the automaticians have already been working on it, I don't think that's going to be a quick lift for anybody. We're going to spend some time there, but they're going to, like, people on bargain hosting, or even people on low-end managed hosting, I don't think that they can handle the like WebRTC or whatever backend connections are needed to do collaborative editing good. Like Google has a whole
unless they leverage some of that WASM stuff.
Even then,
I feel like that has potential for, like, I don't know enough about it, but I feel like that type of like instance that's not saved somewhere kind of deal until you hit save or something like that could be part of that. Like, I guess that wouldn't really be so much real-time collaborative editing though. But you know what? I'm so happy that that's not my problem.
Right.
I don't want to figure that one out. I can figure out a lot of problems. I'm like, I'll test it.
It may be worthwhile in the future, especially as they're getting all of this ready and they're talking about the what goes into making this. If they have a component that the meta team is going to have to like spin up to handle some like back end coordination stuff, it might be worthwhile having Otto on to see like what they're thinking about there, because
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
there's actually a lot planned in terms of Make and the WordPress site. Obviously, they've been redoing it all design-wise, but there's a whole shift coming from support, support forums and documentation. So it's just going to really be forums and documentation. So that's getting a whole overhaul. The rest of the site's going to get designed overhaul. But what they've been doing is using the new stuff they're putting on the WordPress.org site first. So that's actually like right now, I think in the plugins directory, when you're doing your like in the forums or support forums, or when you're doing your description, you can actually use Gutenberg and the block editor now in those descriptions. So that's pretty cool. I know they've been having some hangups. It doesn't work like perfectly. And I know there is a lot of emphasis on the blocks everywhere, or there's a lot of reliance, I should say, on the blocks everywhere plugin from Automatic. So that's interesting in terms of ownership. One thing I really, just changing the topic real quick, sorry, but what I want to hit this before we go is I really think we need to talk about, and the community needs to talk about, the mobile app. I am very much
it's my bugaboo.
Concerned is not the right word, but I am very much bullish on the fact that it should be a good app and it should work. And now that Jetpack has separated, I feel that it will be neglected. And I really want to not neglect it. So if you have any mobile skills, app skills, that type of stuff, that is a place that I know there could really be some impact on WordPress as a whole, like the whole software. Because right now, really, our mobile app has been Jetpack dependent. And with that separation, I actually haven't used the WordPress non-Jetpack mobile app. Have either of you used it yet?
Yeah.
I really should, since I talk about
frustration.
it. Yeah. So I think that is something that is really important. And I am a supporter of Automatic. I think Automatic does amazing work, and literally the community and WordPress could not exist without it. So I am not an anti-Automatic matic person, but I do think that we shouldn't be like
manualtician, if you will.
Yeah. But I do think that we shouldn't have to be reliant on Jetpack. Yeah, whatever you say. Anyway, that's all I have to say. What did you say now? Because then I can figure it out.
I said manualtician.
Manual. Oh, like not automatician.
Yeah, there you go.
That. I got it. Anyway, off my soapbox.
Sounds good. Well, into the show.
Oh,
Thank you very much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. And next year is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to building out a long list of things we're going to be discussing, and getting the three of us together to get those figured out is going to be very fun. So
if you've got topics or ideas, send them to us. Come in the Discord and chat us up. We are very much open to talking with y'all, and we want to build community within the show as well as within the greater WordPress community. So come on in. We're really nice.
Water's fine.
Snarky, but really nice. Snarky.
Right.
Happy New Year.
Here's our outro. Subscribe.
That's a quickie.
Appreciate it.
Subscribe to us. Listen on Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, really wherever you get your podcasts. See, I know the lines.